You mentioned last week that Colin Hill's really kind of chomping at the bit to get out there. Is he one of those kids you gotta kind of slow him down at times, or wonder if you're gonna have to slow him down?
No, we talked about this, before the surgery and then after the surgery. He's adamant that he's going to get back and give everything he's got in the training room. He actually had a strength test either today or yesterday and said he was ahead of schedule. But the thing that we got to keep, talking about is we can only do so much that the knee will allow. And, if the knee can take it and the doctors allow it, then we're going to press forward and train extremely hard to get him back. He's focused. He's in a good place. He's not feeling sorry for himself. He knows he's got a long road ahead of him. I was in the quarterback meeting today, and he's answering every question. He's locked in meetings. He's getting extra treatment. So he's doing everything that he can do, what's in his control, and the knee will dictate how fast we can go.
Are you kind of impressed that he's not down on the moment just because of what he's had to go through and the chance he was supposed to have?
Well, I think all guys naturally are down, and he was down a little bit that first day I talked to him. But his mindset has been stronger with this knee injury as opposed to the first one. He's been locked in and said, "I'm gonna be back, Coach. I'm gonna work my tail off." And Colin's a strong young man with strong faith, and he believes that things happen for a reason, and he needs to go through some more adversity. When a lot of people sometimes would say, "Why me? Why is this happening to me?" When it's my shot, it's my time to play. He's got things in a very good perspective, and he's working extremely hard.
Mike, what is the goal to have him back by?
Well, I think it depends on his knee. There's I think 5.5 months to 6.5 months would be, I think, the best case scenario. 5.5 being on the early end. But what we're just taking it day by day. His goal, talking to the doctors and talking to the trainers, is to be back, hopefully before the season starts and ready to go. But, we still got a long way to go, and it's the early stages right now, and he's on schedule, or a little bit ahead of schedule.
At what point last year could you have played him had you not wanted to redshirt?
It was, maybe 4 or 5 games in. I mean, he probably was ready early in the game, early in the season, but it was just he was still in a brace, still, probably not 100% mentally more than anything. So it wasn't worth the risk.
How much strange looking at the fact that you could go into fall camp with 2 quarterbacks competing for the job that weren't even on the field right now when you look at him?
Yeah, but that's the case in a lot of positions right now. There's going to be a lot of guys that come in here in the fall and, really weren't, they're going to be competing for spots. And, quarterbacks, one of them. We don't have a, starter right now. Justice has probably been, performing at the highest level right now coming in today. But today I thought he was a little bit too lax. And, actually put Judd Erickson in with the ones in a red zone drill at the end and did some nice things. So, it depends. And we got these guys that are practicing right now, the guys that we're focusing on, and they got a job to do to get better every day and put them in a position where they can compete in the spring. They got a head start. They're getting all these valuable reps. And then, KJ will obviously enter the mix, and then Colin will enter the mix when he gets back healthy. But competition's a good thing, and you've got to have good quarterback play to be successful at any level.
You've talked some about kind of trying to tailor what you do a little bit around who that quarterback is. Is that something you just can't really think about right now? You have to wait till the season starts?
No, and that's really our whole offense. Really, there's some guys missing at a number of positions. So we're focusing on the basics of our offense right now, basic concepts, a couple little different wrinkles for what the guys can do when they're in there. When Justice is in there, it's a little bit different than when JC's in there, and when Judd's in there, it's a little bit different. So the play, as you call plays, you've got this whole offense in this spring. You kind of tailor it to each guy. Now we've put in almost everything because the linemen need to hear everything, the backs and the receivers, but you can tailor play calls around for a specific guy. Now we'll zero in when we get more into game planning or who that quarterback is going into a specific game.
Is the silver lining in this, it's kind of sped up Justice's, at least maybe even in his mind, him getting the chance at a shot and kind of forcing him to really kind of push it?
I think this has helped, but I think he came back after the winter break with a different mindset. We talked a lot toward the end of last year that he's got to start working harder in practice, even though he's getting redshirted, because you're losing an opportunity right now, and it's going to be a big spring for you. And toward the end of the year last year, I thought he started focusing a little bit better. He came back with a really good mindset for winter workouts as he worked extremely hard because, I told him he's going to be competing. And then, obviously when Colin's knee happened, he got thrust into getting some more one reps than he probably would have, and he's taking advantage of that.
It's a wake-up call for your whole team. I mean, you look at your quarterback situation, Justice probably thinking, I'm behind a guy who's going to be a 3-year starter ahead of me. Stuff happens, everything changed. Is that a wake-up call for everybody, no matter what?
Yeah, I think it is. It's a wake-up call. We try to talk about all the time that, you're not waiting your turn at any position. You can't look at the depth chart and say, well, this guy's here and he's got 3 more years. I'm just going to buy my time, because you're going to get passed by the guys we recruit or sign. You got to take advantage of every opportunity. And you try to say that all the time, but sometimes, like you said, this is a wake-up call for those guys like, whoa, I really am, one play away. Now, quarterbacks usually have a little bit, different mindset just because of the nature of the position, and they focus and they grind it out. And then the other positions, they can gain quality reps because you sub more, and then you've got special teams. But it still is a good reminder that you always got to be ready. And if you're not taking advantage of your opportunity when you're technically not number one, you're not going to be ready for that opportunity. If somebody gets hurt and now you just move up, you'll get passed by.
It's not really a normal or a real game week, but is there some excitement from guys, or should there be excitement from guys going in?
Well, I think so. I mean, we had a padded practice today. Had some live situations today, had some move the field live, and at the end, I added, after 1 minute, I had some red zone situations, about 7 of them, from the 12, the 10, the 8, the 6, where you had to score a touchdown, and it was live, and it got a little bit heated out there, so it was good to see their juices flowing, and I hope it'll be the same way on Saturday. Now, Saturday will be probably half a practice and half a scrimmage, similar to what we did in the second scrimmage where we got 40 to 50 plays. But we'll have some live action, and we'll have some competition drills and special teams, but it'll be another opportunity to get better. An opportunity to get better in the drills, and then we got to take that to scrimmage situations. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. And, when there's people watching and people in the crowd, it tends to get their juices flowing a little bit more.
Mike, I know you're not doing a ton of special teams as far as live type stuff or anything right now, but who do you think could be your kick returner?
Well, you've got Darius Campbell, Anthony Hawkins, Marvin Kinsey, Jaden Walker has worked some back there. Preston Williams has worked back there. Darius Wise are a number of guys that we've worked back there at kickoff return. At punt return, it's been B.C. Johnson, Brennan Fulton, Preston Williams, a little bit of Darius Campbell. So, we're still evaluating. Those guys are catching every day. And then there'll be a number of freshmen that will give an opportunity to return.
You feel pretty good about the people you have for those spots, that ultimately whoever ends up rising to the top?
Well, we lost our kick returner, Dietrich Clark, who I thought was a good one. In kick return, you've got to have somebody that'll catch that ball and stick it up in there. It's not a lot of dancing. You got to see the seam, and you got to hit it. You got to be a tough runner and strong. So Marvin Kinsey is a guy that I believe could do that because he's got good straight line speed. He's fast. The thing with Marvin is ball security. In the red zone drill today, we fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line on a 3rd and goal from the 1, and the defense recovered it. So ball security will be the main emphasis there. Punt returner, you know, we really don't have a kickoff return guy, and so we're going to be trying out some guys. Punt return, BC Johnson did a good job at that. Brandon Fulton was his backup last year, but we didn't have anybody on the team other than those two that I felt comfortable catching punts last year. So we've got to identify somebody in the freshman class that can catch punts.
What's your take on the kickoff rule change with the fair catch and takeouts at 25?
Well, in this altitude, the ball goes in the end zone every time anyway. So I think we had 70-something kicks last year. We only returned 24 of them just because of the altitude. You know, I think if it's somebody that is really, really good at being able to place that ball inside the 5 with great hang time, is then when you think about, hey, we're going to fair catch it. You know, if a guy's really good at placing it in a corner. But if, you know, we feel good about our return, then we're going to use it a chance to have an explosive play. I think it'll be game by game, who you're facing, the talents of that kicker, what's his hang time. Those things are going to play a factor of whether you fair catch or return it.
So your thoughts in Florida could be different than what they are when you go to airport?
Could be, yeah. Well, and now too, it could be a turn on the tape and I see Florida's kickoff team running down there and I'm like, oh, we just need to fair catch it. Could be that.